Welcome back to 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Nicole Gitsky. We'll begin with big news. Governor Gavin Newsom announces plans to reopen California completely. By June 15th, all restrictions will be eliminated here in the state. This morning, Governor Newsom said we will reopen if there is enough vaccine supply for Californians 16 and older and if hospitalization rates are low and stable. The announcement comes as the state administered 20 million vaccine doses, including 4 million in California's hardest hit communities. Now, Governor Newsom has also announced 16 counties have moved into a less restrictive tier today. Kern County has met orange tier metrics this week. If we meet them again next Tuesday, April 13th, we will move into the red tier or to the orange tier on April 14th. This comes as we continue to engineer 1,300 deaths in Kern County since last March, with public health announcing one more life lost to today's update. 63 new cases were also announced, bringing the total to over 106,000 cases. Right now, 52 people are in the hospital, 13 are in the ICU. And if you've been waiting for months to finally get a coronavirus vaccine, it's your turn. Yesterday, Kern Public Health announced anyone age 16 or over can sign up for a vaccine. Kern County is one of the first in the state to do this, dropping the old requirements that were used during the vaccine rollout to make sure the most vulnerable people in our community were vaccinated. As of last night, just under 13% of Kern County is vaccinated, and the department says fewer people are signing up. They hope that changes now that virtually anyone can schedule an appointment. And Kern County's decision to open up vaccine eligibility has caught a lot of attention throughout the state as thousands of tweets poured in last night, launching the term Bakersfield to the trending section on Twitter. Now today, there were more than 7,000 people tweeting about Bakersfield's vaccine rollout. The majority of these tweets were from LA residents encouraging their friends and family to make the trip over the grapevine and get the shot. CSU Bakersfield's mass vaccination site was also a major topic of discussion due to its availability to provide vaccines to those who walk in without an appointment. It's unclear at this time just how many vaccines have been administered to residents outside of Kern County. And getting a vaccine in Bakersfield is no longer just a talk of town. Just like we mentioned, it's a talk of the Twitter sphere. Out-of-towners, including some celebrities, are tracking to Kern County's newest vaccination site at Cal State Bakersfield as they have plenty of extra doses. 17's Eitan Wallace joins us live from CSUB, where he caught up with some of those out-of-towners this morning. Eitan?
Hey, Nicole, good afternoon. You know, sometimes when Bakersfield trends on Twitter, it's not for the best of reasons, to put it nicely, but this case, it's different. Twitter users have been very complimentary of the vaccination site here at Cal State Bakersfield, and people with whom I spoke today here to get their shot, well, they are very excited to get that vaccine. Let's take a look at some video here. The organizers tell me yesterday this site hit its all-time record at 2,500 people vaccinated, including a couple hundred from out of town. Run by Kaiser Permanente and their medical partners, the site has a capacity to administer up to 5,400 doses per day or 38,000 doses per week. Some celebrities, including actor Will Wheaton, known for his role on Star Trek and The Big Bang Theory, well, he was among those who came here for the vaccine. He traveled from Los Angeles to get the shot here and shared a post on Instagram on Sunday describing the process as being, quote, simple and streamlined. And today we came across others, including the Christopher Amador French and his family. He came from Pasadena.
It was great. It was super quick. They made it really easy. We heard kind of through the grapevine that they had a lot of surplus. I'm not eligible under the general state guidelines for another week or two. We thought it was well worth it to make the trek down.
So we are getting a number of people coming in from outside the county. We are giving priority to Kern County residents. We also are accepting walk-in traffic for people who struggle with My Turn when we have space available in our appointment system and when we have plenty of vaccine.
And a reminder, anyone local can sign up for an appointment here using the state website, myturn.ca.gov, or by calling 833-422-4255. To be crystal clear, organizers tell me Kern County residents who have appointments will receive the priority, but if there is space and doses available, walk-ins are certainly welcome for anyone 16 or older. Now, Nicole, let me also go over just a little bit of what it takes to get these vaccines and make sure that they're not wasted. You know, there's a whole process that goes into making sure they're not wasted, and that includes organizers here taking those doses out of the freezer and having an anticipated amount of doses that they will use throughout the day. Organizers tell me up until now, not one single dose here at Cal State University Bakersfield has gone to waste. That is a line is now starting to build here outside Cal State Bakersfield. More on 17 News at 5. Reporting live outside Cal State Bakersfield, Eitan Wallace, 17 News.
All right, thanks so much for that, Eitan. And a reminder, there are still COVID-19 vaccine appointments available for this week at CSUB's mass vaccination site. Walk-ins are accepted. Now the site is open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the Kern County Fairgrounds Mass Vaccination Clinic has opened appointments this week, Wednesday through Sunday. The vaccines are free and no ID is required. Now, Kern Public Health says My Turn has been updated to allow those aged 16 and older to schedule appointments. Head to that website right there, myturn.ca.gov, to schedule your appointment. You can also call the number 833-422-4255. Well, this as President Biden makes another big announcement. All American adults should be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine by April 19th. President Biden is expected to slide up the date. He expects all states will allow every American adult to get the vaccine. That's nearly 2 weeks earlier than the original plan, which would have made the vaccine available to all on May 1st. Most states have already announced plans to open up the vaccine to everyone by April 19th. The president is also expected to announce that the U.S. has administered 150 million shots in the first 75 days of his administration. All right, switching gears now, let's send things over to Kevin Charette. We are seeing another gorgeous day out there.
Well, we've seen beautiful weather, and that is going to continue. Temperatures are expected in the 70s today. As we take a look at these temperature trends, you can see right around 5 o'clock we should be at 78, and then we'll see that downward trend into the mid-50s as we head into the overnight and early morning hours for tomorrow here in the valley. For the Tehachapi area, mid-60s expected this afternoon. We'll be back into those 40s overnight. Tomorrow morning by 7 a.m. we'll be right near 44. We will also be looking at a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Kevin. We'll check in with you shortly. All right, we are now learning more information on a fatal crash overnight in Shafter. It happened just before 11:30 near the intersection of 7th Standard and Zerker Roads. That's where a semi-truck crashed into another truck. Witnesses say that truck rolled over. The driver of the truck, 61-year-old Benny Ferranda, was killed. Now, Shafter Police Department is investigating this crash. It's unknown at this time whether drugs or alcohol were involved. Meantime, Kern County firefighters rescued 7 people from an elevator at a cement plant near Lancaster yesterday. According to the fire department, one rescuer was lowered by a rope, then worked with other rescue team members to place ladders down the side of the trapped elevator. Officials said all 7 people were able to escape safely without any injuries. LA County Fire Department also assisted in those rescue efforts. And a man is behind bars this afternoon in connection to an attempted murder investigation. According to Bakersfield Police, the shooting happened back on March 20th on Columbus Street near Panorama Drive. BPD says a man was found with a gunshot wound and was rushed to the hospital. That victim did survive. The investigation led to 39-year-old Alejandro Asiguera. They arrested him and are charging him with attempted murder. And a juvenile was arrested in connection to a shooting last month. According to BPD, it happened March 22nd on Weibel Road near Ming Avenue. With the help of surveillance video, police saw the 16-year-old firing multiple rounds at an occupied car at a gas station. Luckily, no one was injured, but that car was hit. The teen is facing aggravated assault with a firearm, criminal street gang participation, along with other charges. If you have information on either of these cases, call BPD at 327-7111. And police need your help identifying a suspect connected to an attempted catalytic converter theft. It happened back on February 6th on Crosswind Way near Panama Lane. BPD says the suspect attempted to steal a catalytic converter, damaging that vehicle. The suspect is described as 30 to 40-year-old man, long black hair and a ponytail. He was last seen in a gray t-shirt, black and white gym shorts and black sneakers. He was also seen driving a white 2003 Lincoln Continental. Call BPD at 327-7111 if you have any information. Well, making headlines around the state, Kern County Congressman David Valadao is donating campaign contributions given to him by Representative Matt Gatz of Florida. Now, this after it was revealed that he's being investigated over claims that he had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl. Valadeo Chief of Staff Andrew Renteria confirmed that Valadeo is donating $4,000 of campaign contributions from that to Marjorie Mason Center in Fresno to support victims of domestic violence. Gatz has repeatedly denied the allegations, claiming he is being extorted for millions of dollars by a former Justice Department employee.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
In your 17 Business Watch, McDonald's has announced a new dessert. The fast food chain is introducing the new Caramel Brownie McFlurry. The dessert features vanilla soft serve ice cream with brownie pieces and caramel topping. The Caramel Brownie McFlurry will be available at participating McDonald's restaurants starting May 3rd. And starting today, Target is hosting its popular car seat trade-in event through April 17th. Target will accept any used car seat, including infant seats, convertible seats, car seat bases, harnesses, or booster seats. In exchange, Target will give you a 20% off coupon toward a new car seat, stroller, or select baby home gear. The coupon is valid in-store or online through May 1st. Now, the pandemic has heavily affected family and local-owned businesses, but one local family dealt with a boom in business like no other during this time. 17's Ileana Capian has more.
Amy and Allison are sisters, best friends, in-laws, and creative business owners. Together 4 years ago, they were inspired by Amy's son Jacob to create their yard sign business, Say It Creative.
My son wasn't expected to live past the age of 1, and so every birthday that we get to have with him is special. And he just turned 20 just this past month, and we have wanted to make a big deal about every birthday.
It's no surprise when the pandemic hit, their heart went out to all the individuals wanting to celebrate life's precious moments. The Hart sisters say they didn't want to take life celebrations for granted.
Oh my word, it just grew overnight. We had 2 signs, I think, total we did last February. And that was super exciting for us. So we're like, yay, we have 2, you know. And then in March it went to probably 50 we did. And then April we were closer to 300 signs we did. And it just kept going from there.
By May of last year, the sisters had up to 500 orders that month alone. And to this day, they have filled over 2,500 orders for birthdays, graduations, baby showers, and welcome home signs.
Some of the most special ones that we have done are the welcome home, the ones that have come home from the hospital after chemo treatments, or the kids that have been really sick with terminal illnesses, because I've walked that road. I've lived through that with my son, and to be able to bring joy to a family and the celebration of that kid coming home is a really big deal. Sorry.
Every single order handled and taken personally.
And to know how those parents feel, and to come home to a yard decorated, and just the joy of getting to bring that child home is such a gift. So those ones are really special to me because they're really personal, and of course the birthdays too, because every birthday we get with our son is one we didn't know that we would have.
The Hart sisters are so appreciative to the Bakersfield community for helping them spread joy through their business. Now, for more information on how to contact them, visit our website, kget.com. And if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, Second Saturday is coming back to Bakersfield. The monthly event went virtual during the pandemic, but this Saturday, people are invited to shop downtown while masked up and social distancing. There's a map of which businesses are participating. Download it on BakersfieldSecondSaturday.com. In sports news now, all eyes were on last night's historic title game as Baylor took down undefeated Gonzaga to win the 2021 NCAA championship. Baylor dominated the game from the first tip as they ran away with the 86-70 win, snapping the Bulldogs' bid at perfection. After running to a 19-point lead early, the Bears never let Gonzaga get any closer than 9. It's the first men's basketball title in the school's history. It's also the first wire-to-wire win in the national championship game since UConn in 2014.
I thought we were really on a mission to make the most of it. If we had lost, we wanted to have no regrets. We wanted to leave it all on the table. There's usually some luck that goes into that, and we didn't even have to be lucky because our guys were so dominant this entire tournament.
A big congratulations to Coach Scott Drew and the Bears on cutting down those nets. All right, now to baseball news. Denver will reportedly host this year's MLB All-Star Game. According to ESPN and the Associated Press, this year's game will be played at Coors Field. It will be the second All-Star game hosted in the Mile High City. The last time was 1998. Originally scheduled to take place in Atlanta, officials at Major League Baseball made the decision to move the Midsummer Classic after Georgia passed more restrictive voting laws. NBC has reached out to Major League Baseball for comment. And the Masters doesn't tee off for a few days, but fans were still giddy to get inside Augusta's National to watch the practice rounds. Now, some say the start of the Masters is the official start of spring. And as you can see, spring has sprung in Augusta. The grass is lush and green and the flowers are blooming. And perhaps best of all, the fans are back, but in limited capacity. Masks are required, but the fans don't seem to mind that one bit. They're just happy to be there and excited that slowly steps are being taken to return to some kind of normalcy. The Masters tournament starts this Thursday.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.